Yes, sir. Right now, you guys are locked into a brand new episode of that. Come on.
Brand new LCP.
Man, sorry for the wait, as Lil Wayne would say, in between episodes, man. But I have been marketing. I've been using the podcast TikTok more, or as my mama, as my grandma would say, I've been on that TikTok. Clap it up for me using that TikTok more, marketing and promoting. Like I say, man, in between episodes, like, I don't be over here sitting on my ass, okay? I'm not sitting on my ass. I'm marketing. I'm promoting. I'm using TikTok, using Instagram to continue to grow this podcast because, as you guys know, I do everything. I run everything independently over here at that LCP. Now, one day I would love to start the podcast off with some positive shit, man. I was getting ready for work. I'm chilling, lotioning my feet, making sure my dogs are nice and glistening. And I'm watching Fox 5 Atlanta, and there was a woman on there crying because her 5-year-old daughter had she had a false positive for 3 STDs. That's goddamn. Now, because her daughter had tested positive for 3 STDs, which turned out to be false, she had to go through a child's family services investigation. She had to go through a police investigation before everything got rectified, and it turned out that was the false positive. So before I dive into some more shit, before I dive into the dozens of responses I got, I'm going to read to you guys only a few. Matter of fact, let's get to the shit first. Fox 5 Atlanta, talk to your boy. What happened?
Exclusive story you'll see only here on Fox 5. A local mother says her 5-year-old child wasn't feeling well, so she took her to an urgent care in College Park.
That's when the little girl received a test result stating she had several STDs. Fox 5's Larry Spruill is live in Buckhead. Larry, you talked to the mother and the attorney about this. What did they have to tell you?
Yeah, I just spoke with them at the attorney's office right here in Buckhead. Now, that mother tells me that the last few months have been difficult for her daughter and the family. Now, a second test proved the first result was wrong, but that was after the urgent care called police and DFACS. Now, that mother wonders, how did this happen?
I don't want it to happen to anyone else.
You can hear the raw emotion in this mother's voice as she tells me about the tragic event that happened April of this year. We are blurring the mother's face and not identifying her or her daughter for privacy reasons, and because her daughter is just 5 years old.
She feels violated
And now confused. The mother says she took her daughter to an urgent care in College Park because she was sick. The urgent care took a urine sample from the little girl.
They told me that she had trichomonias, gonorrhea, and chlamydia. And I knew right then that was incorrect because I protect my daughter.
She then took her daughter to the Children's Health Care of Atlanta. That's where the test came back negative. The urgent care did a second test, and that's...
I want to pause it for a second, okay? Because, I have a lot of friends that work in urgent care, that work in, had to be a nurse. They work in the health field. And they said that urgent care should have automatically done a second test versus going off the first test. Because can you imagine how many people out here right now are walking around thinking they have some shit or thinking they don't have some shit because of one test? Do 2 tests, bitch. Do not just do one. This girl took 1 test and tested positive for all 3, and the urgent care called the police and called child services. Now, she took her daughter to get a second test. Clap it up for the Children's Health Care of Atlanta, and the test came back negative. Now, only then did the urgent care do a second test after they were told, hey, we went somewhere else. That test came back negative. So what the fuck is up? Only then was the second test done at the urgent care in College Park, the ghettos of the ghetto.
Also came back negative, but this was after they called police and DFACS on the mother.
I couldn't even breathe when they came to my house. I was really thinking they're about to take my child from me. And I knew that I was one of the best moms I could be, and I knew that didn't happen to her, so I was just so scared that they was about to take my daughter from me.
I asked her attorney, Stephen Fowler, with the Fowler Law Firm, what happens next.
This case is still being investigated. We're still looking for results and answers and responses, but from what we've seen so far, there is evidence of some serious concerns with the handling of this child's health care.
An attorney for the urgent care sent me this statement. It says, in part, my client is obligated to follow all laws ranging from protecting patient privacy to mandatory reporting requirements, and that these laws are put in place to protect all patients. Now, that same attorney for the urgent care tells me that they use a third party for lab results, and they were just reporting the information.
Thank you, Fox 5 Atlanta. Fuck that clinic. I wish I knew the name of that urgent care clinic. So you guys out there, do not take your kids. Do not take your son. I don't give a fuck if they broke their leg and the bone is sticking out they fucking back. Go somewhere else, bitch. Boo it in one more fucking time. Now, I told you guys, man, I've been on that TikTok. I've been on that TikTok. You know, I've been using it for the podcast. Again, my TikTok is Lunchroom Chat Party. If you guys want to go read. Like I said, I posted it. I spoke about it, and I got dozens of comments. I'm going to read to you a couple of the comments before we dive. I believe I got some more stories. I think I got a stories with Sully on this episode. As we all know, he likes to chip in, and I appreciate it greatly. A lot of you guys give great feedback. A lot of you guys love that stories with Sully. But now, somebody said, somebody has to be held accountable. Even if it was just a mistake, that is so traumatic for the child and the mom. She could have unalived somebody, thinking that someone hurt her baby. That company is targeting families. I want to clap it up because, again, that is a dark side of this equation because, like, the mom said, I knew my daughter did not have that because I protect her. But what if that mom had an uncle, had a brother, or had somebody who was watching that girl and then said, you know what? These tests came back positive. You did some shit to my baby, and she could have had a gun, and we don't know how the shit would have went. We don't know. And that right there is the risky part. Now, somebody else said, the same thing happened to me. I tested positive for an STD, and I accused my boyfriend at the time because he was the only one I was active with, but he tested negative. I was like, what the fuck? I went back to the doctor and I explained the situation. His response was, oh, you do not have an STD. I was like, tell my boyfriend. He already broke up with me because he thought I was cheating on him. She ended it with, I guess this is pretty common. Like I said, this is not a one-off. Like, false positives happen. And I'm trying to find the other comment. Now, like I said, people commented who were in the health field. Now, somebody said, I'm suing like hell. I'm getting a lawyer immediately. Let me see what else. Somebody said, oh, here we go. Somebody said, I would sue the clinic. There should have been a secondary test to confirm the first testing automatically before they reached out and contacted anybody, especially because she's 5 years old and it could have set off a storm of bad second steps. As a person who has worked in a clinic, you always have a secondary to a positive test before you contact social services. I want to clap it up. Like I said, that shit blew up. There's dozens of more responses on this. So again, you guys who want to check that out and read those responses even more, even possibly comment back to some, my Instagram is Lunchroom Chatter Pod. But now, to keep it moving, I seen some shit. Like I said, we are in 2025. We see everything going on with the administration, with Trump, with so many things going on, and the world getting fucked up, man. It seems like every fucking day people are losing their mind, people are losing their cool. Some people just, like, the world was already going downhill, but now the shit feel like it's sped up, and this shit is going downhill at about 400 miles per hour. Now, also, you guys know I love to watch the news. Like, I'm not I don't get my news from the Shade Room. I don't get my news from the blogs. Like, I still watch the news. I still watch Apple News. I still read articles. I still read newspapers because to me, that's where I get the best news. I get details of what happened versus, a shocking headline that a lot of blogs use to kind of just get people enraged. Now, a story came across my timeline, right? A woman in New Jersey, she stabbed somebody over a dispute in the checkout line. What?
Ooh, you a lie.
Jesus.
Girl, stop. That's a lie.
Like, some of y'all don't like being free. Like, again, I don't want to be a slave. To me, when you go to jail, you are a fucking slave because you got somebody who's telling you when to wake up, when you can eat, when you can shower. You are a fucking slave when you in jail.
Jesus Christ.
So stay the fuck out of jail. Now, like I said, a woman was arrested after stabbing another person in Marshalls. In Marshalls. Now, again, I don't co-sign it. But if the store, bitch, you in Marshalls. Why the fuck you stabbing somebody in Marshalls? But let's dive into the story. Let me see who this story's from. ABC 7. Talk to me. Stabbed in the pickup line. Jesus Christ.
Her head. A woman from New Jersey is accused of stabbing another woman in the parking lot of a Marshalls. Investigators say the two women had a disagreement in the checkout line. They claim the suspect then purchased a knife at the store and stabbed the woman. New Jersey reporter Tony Yates is live outside the Marshalls in Kearney with the details. Tony.
Yeah, Liz, the suspect has a detention hearing set for Thursday. And like you said, this wasn't even two shoppers having a tussle over an item that was for sale. As you said, it sounded like one person simply ran out of patience. And people we spoke to today say, sadly, that has become way too common. Yeah, what do you think's going on in the world?
Insanity.
It is a busy Marshalls location, but on Saturday, patience ran out for one woman who ended up being arrested. Kearney police say 25-year-old Amber Thompson of Newark was angered by another customer whom she decided was taking too long in the checkout line and then threatened to harm the shopper once they got outside. Well, police say Thompson bought a set of knives, took one out of the packaging, chased the shopper down and stabbed her several times. The victim was rushed to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect was found back inside the Marshalls. Police say she was hiding in a bathroom where a bloody knife was also found.
Next story is going to leave you shaking your head. A woman from New Jersey is a woman in the parking lot of a Marshalls.
Okay, we heard you. I got nothing else to say. Like I said, I hate to blame mental health for so many things, but like that don't seem like somebody that's mentally sane. Okay, people take long in the fucking checkout line every fucking day. Every time I go in the store, somebody's taking long in the line. Okay, so look, you got to have patience. But again, as we know, a lot of people don't have patience. But the fact that you are in Marshalls and you like, you know what? You are taking too fucking long. I'm angry. And you fucking go buy some knives at the fucking store. Like, that's some wild shit. Like, groceries are high, clothes are high, and you spend some extra fucking money in the store to buy some knives simply to commit a crime on the fucking spot. That's some crazy shit, okay? But again, you guys out there, man, please be safe. Don't do no fuck. If somebody make you mad in the fucking store, just have patience. Pull out your phone. Go use TikTok. Go read some articles. Just go send some texts. Go text your side nigga back. Go text your side bae back. Do some shit. But do not buy no knives to commit a crime in the fucking store. Then the bitch gonna hide in the bathroom. Boo, bitch. Get your scary ass out the fucking bathroom. Now, I don't talk church. I don't talk religion. But some shit popped across my timeline. And again, I've had experiences like this in the past. To where I believe in God. I have my own relationship with the Lord, but I don't go to church. Again, I don't believe that every church is bad. I believe that there are so many amazing and positive churches out here, but the hard thing is finding a church in which you personally feel comfortable in. Now, again, a lot of churches can be a scam, and Bishop Marvin Winans, a video went viral after he called out a woman in front of the church for only donating $1,200 as opposed to the $2,000 he wanted. Now, again, I know he's a pastor, but fuck this nigga. One more time, fuck him.
Jesus Christ.
Like I said, you could have got $0. Going to church should be free. But when you have a lot of these fucking celebrity pastors, these pastors who just make a living off of getting money from other people, that's where you have shit that happen like this, where again, this mom in front of the church with her child, and you gonna call me out in front of everybody because I gave you $1,200. as opposed to the $2,000 you asked for. Bitch, you could have got $0. Check this shit out real quick. I'm going to come back and give you guys a little, I got to throw my opinion in it. Then we probably going to dive into some stories with Sully. But check this shit. Look at this motherfucker.
Roberta McCoy, giving faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
That shit is so, I want to boo. Like when I tell you guys, man, you guys who seen the video, you guys who seen her fucking face, like that is some fucked up shit. Like this woman, like I said in the last news story, everything is high now. It costs money to breathe at this fucking point. If I'm giving you $1,200 out of my household that I could use for some other fucking shit, don't do that shit.
Jesus Christ.
And that's why I say, again, not every pastor is like this. Not every church is like this. But when you have these mega churches, these pastors that go viral, these pastors that spend so much time trying to gather money, give me money, give me money, give me money every fucking day, that's when you have some shit like this. And he embarrassed the fuck out that lady in front of the whole congregation. If you want 2,000 and I'm giving you 1,200, nigga, you go shake your ass. You go get the other 800, nigga. Fuck this nigga, man.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Let's take a second, man. I want to dive into some stories with Sully. What you talking about, my brother? Talk to me. The stories with Sully.
I'm Chatter Pod. Got an eerie question for you, but kind of thought-provoking, and I wanted to see what your opinions are on the matter. But what are your thoughts on assisted suicide? Do you think it's morally right or morally wrong for someone to be at the end of their ropes, whether that be health-wise or just, mentally drained, and, approach a doctor and say, hey, I'd like to end my life, and I need your assistance doing so medically. What are your thoughts on that? I don't know where I stand on it. I think that there has to be...
Hold on. Before we dive into his opinion on assist, this is a great ass question. Great ass question. Clap it up for the question, man. I want to share my thoughts before I play his, so that way his thoughts don't alter my thoughts. But honestly, to surprise some of you guys, I'm not against it. Because again, like if somebody's sick, if somebody's going through pain and trauma, a lot of times people who go through chemo and like they're going through chemo for months and years, and it's draining, it's hurting, it's taking a toll on their body. And like, let's say my mama, a cousin come to me and say, you know what, John, I'm thinking about assisted suicide because I'm tired. Like, again, I can't be selfish in that moment. Like, I feel like me being selfish is telling this person, you know what, I love you, stay here and just continue to hurt for more months, continue to hurt for more years because I want you here. And that's something I don't want to do, because I feel as if, like, if a person comes to the point where they're even thinking about assisted suicide, it's something that they probably thought about. It's something that they have already struggled with, and they came to the conclusion, you know what, I'm going through, like, let's say stage 4 cancer. I only got a year left to live. I'd rather not hurt for a year and put an end to all of that now. I'm not against that. Again, would I be happy about it? No. Especially when it's somebody who you might love. It might be a friend. It might be a coworker. It might be a family member. I'm not going to be happy about that. But like, one thing I try to do, especially with the podcast, with the LCP, is I try to think outside of myself, because that's where you sometimes cannot understand other people when you only think about what you want. Because if I'm healthy and I'm not hurting and somebody else has been hurting, let's say 3 to 4 years, and they finally reach the end of the road, I got to put my feelings aside at that point. So honestly, I'm not against assisted suicide, but I still would probably sit down and have a conversation with the person like, hey, you know what? I love you. I don't want you to do this, but I will take the steps to help you find somebody who can, but let's have a conversation about this first. Let's have a conversation with a doctor. Let's have a conversation. And at the end of those conversations, if that is something you still want to do, then while I would probably hurt by you doing that, I would want you to be at peace versus me being selfish with my feelings. So that's how I feel. I know a lot of you guys probably thought I was going to just say, fuck it. No. I try to be understanding of how everybody feels. And like I said, sometimes we got to put our own feelings aside, even if the end result is not what we want. But Sully, come on, how you feel?
Like a severity of like their medical history. Say like if someone is, I don't know, like a stage 4 cancer patient. Most doctors have ruled their capability of recovering, maybe below 2% or something like that, where the pain is just excessive. I think that person should have the right to take matters in their own hands, right, and maybe die with some dignity, being able to choose the matter to die while they are still in their right mind, X, Y, and Z, not in a vegetative state or something like that. But on the other hand, you do sort of rule out the possibility of, holding on to hope, right? Maybe things could get better. We've seen it. Doctors say patient can't survive, over a certain amount of years. And then next thing you know, the patient lives 5-10 years longer than that, go on to fully recover or live, a really nice, happy life. But ultimately, I think it's a pretty fine line, right? Maybe there is no right or wrong answer, but I wanted to get your thoughts on the matter. But then the flip side of like a person being terminally ill, what about a person who is battling severe depression? Do they have, or should they have the right to commit assisted suicide? I don't know, maybe, insert every negative thing you could imagine that could happen in someone's childhood. They were raped, they're beat, cast aside. I don't know, parents didn't do anything for them, X, Y, and Z, person decides, I don't know, at the tender age of 22, 23, to go talk to a doctor about assisted suicide because their life has just become unbearable to the point to where, hey, this is what they want to do. So the two questions would be, if someone is terminally ill, do you think that person should have the right to have assisted suicide? And then also, do you think a person who is just battling a severe case of depression due to crap things that happen in their life, should that person have the right to...
I want to clap it up. First of all, man, that's a great ass question. Great fucking question. Now, I believe I answered the first part already, but on the second part, in relation to somebody being depressed, somebody being even young, like 22 or 23, I think at like in a situation like that, I think you have to exhaust all of your options first. Like you might have to go, well, not might, you do got to go to therapy. You do got to go to counseling. I believe you might even have to get on some type of medication to see if you can improve those thoughts. It's to see if you can, find a way to cope, because that's young. Like 23 seeking out assisted suicide, like that's probably going to be tough to get, especially if you are not like physically sick, especially if you are not, like I said, somebody going through stage 4 cancer, it's, even if you're 23, 24, it's more understanding because, while, as he said, you can overcome the odds and still live longer, chances are slim versus somebody saying, you know what, I'm 22, I'm depressed, I want to die. Any doctor, especially in the U.S., any good doctor is going to tell you, hey, you know what? You should go to therapy. You know, you should go to counseling. These are things that you should do. Hey, you know, we can even prescribe you medication after we talk to you and figure out exactly what's going on, as opposed to simply, hey, I'm 20, you know, I'm sad, I'm depressed, and I want to die. Because you guys who have been fans of the podcast from the beginning, I spoke to you, like I had a whole episode in the past where I spoke about depression and wanting to commit suicide and how I planned out taking my own life when I was about 19 years old. And like, I can't picture myself at 19 going to a doctor and saying, hey, you know what? I want to die. They probably would have called my family, and I probably would have been going through all kinds of therapy, all kinds of counseling. And I should have been at that point. But like I said, in my case, like I put off a lot of my mental health, a lot of feelings growing up because so much was focused on another family member. So, you know, when you grow up, when you have to be, you know, quote unquote, the man of the house, somebody who's, you know, helping out and doing everything that you should be doing or that you probably shouldn't be doing, because I was a kid and like I had so many adult responsibilities on my plate. And again, I didn't ask for them, but they was just placed upon my shoulder. So a lot of things played a part in my mental health and me wanting to end my life. But I feel like if somebody's that young and they want to commit suicide or assisted suicide because of being depressed or not feeling happy, they might have gone through a breakup, I feel as if you should probably exhaust all of your options first before you make that drastic jump. Because when you're still young and you are still physically capable, life can be improved. Again, if you got stage 4 cancer, yes, you can overcome the odds, but chances are still slim versus somebody who might simply be sad or depressed at 20 years old. Like, you know, God willing, you have so much more life ahead of you. So I feel like in that situation, you should probably exhaust all options first before you even attempt to seek out anything assisted suicide. But one more time, clap it up. That is a great fucking question. But man, you know, I try to have these podcast episodes and like I said, have some positive things on there, but sometimes life don't go that way. You know, you guys wake up every day, you guys go outside, you guys see TV, you guys be on your phone, you guys watch the news. Like, life ain't all glittery. Like, sometimes real life is some fucked up shit. So I know in this episode I spoke about a lot of fucked up shit, but sometimes it go like that. I don't pick up the fucking microphone and say, you know what, I want to talk about some sad shit this episode. But as I go through the week, sometimes I might save some stories and shit just happen like that. So that's why self-care days are important. You guys out there who work, who have jobs, who have PTO, use your fucking PTO, okay? Like, a lot of times people do not use their PTO and they save their PTO and they think, you know what, I'm going to let my PTO stack up. Like, it's no guarantee you still going to be here next week, okay? If you got some PTO, I'm not saying just blow through it, but if you want to use 2 days here, save the other 7 days, or if you want to use a couple, like, use that shit. That is your time. You are working your job. That is what you fucking earned. And sometimes you need that shit. So like I said, you can wake up, you can be good for yourself. You can be good for your child. You can simply be in a good space where you can make shit happen. Because there's people out there who depend on you, whether it be friends, family, co-workers, you know, just people depend, your kids. People depend on you, okay? So you guys out there, man, who stay showing love, stay supporting that LCP. Keep it up, man. Like I said, I've been marketing, I've been promoting. The numbers are going up and up because there's so many things that I do outside of these episodes. So like a lot of you guys probably think, oh, if he's not recording, he don't do nothing. No. If you follow me on IG, if you follow me on TikTok, I am always engaging. I am always posting questions that I would hope are thought-provoking that would invoke some real discussion. So you guys who want to contribute more, as always, my Cash App is $NYC Story 718. My Venmo is Lunchroom Chatter Pod. Let your friends, your mama, your coworker, your auntie, your baby niece, your baby nephew, let them know to lock in to that. Come on.
Brand new LCP.